virtual art tour. My name is some of you know me as Miss Calcaño. I am now Mrs. Butler. So we can all just let me know. So you can all call me Mrs. Butler. I'm an art teacher. I'm also an artist. And today I'm going to be your tour guide along with my bestie right over here, Miss Avocado.
Miss Avocado.
Where's Miss Avocado at?
She looks frozen. But we're going to take you through this Zoom tour. I'm Mr. Yatterberry. Some of you may know me. Some of you may not. I'm a Bria middle school teacher, and I myself with Coach Hydara has started Neighborhood United as a nonprofit to get you to have like great programming, whether it's the arts, hopefully later on coding and other things like that, so that you may have options. Like you may have options in your interest and actually pursue the things you love.
Yeah, just to piggyback off Mr. Yatterberry, we did this for you guys so you guys could have a platform to where you don't have to be in school all the time to have fun, because usually a lot of the times, the only time you probably do have art or chess or whatever that may be is when you're in school. So we wanted to give you guys something that you guys could do when you're not in school. So shout out to everybody who joined the call. And just like Mr. Yatterberry said, I'm Coach Hydara, Coach Mo, Mr. Hydara, wherever you know me from, okay? I hope you guys have fun today.
All right. So I'm about to...
Oh, Miss Avocado is about to get back on the call.
Yeah.
All right.
Miss Avocado. All right. All right, so today we will be learning about an artist named Jose Parla, and we're going to be taking a tour through the Bronx Museum of Art. It's located right here in the Bronx on Grand Concourse, and on this tour we're going to get to look closely at some of his paintings, and we're going to see how most of his inspiration comes from the unique history and culture within the Bronx. Is Miss Avocado here? Wait, I thought I saw
She's still having some technical difficulties. She'll be on shortly.
Got it. So just before we begin, we're gonna go over just a few things.
Yeah, so in the participants panel, I mean, most of you already done it. You can rename yourselves to your actual name, so we can continue going through this tour. While we're on the call, our mics are muted with your cameras on. If you have an idea or questions to share, you may unmute yourself, but you gotta use the raise your hand feature. So you see the raise your hand feature in the participants panel. You'll be able to raise your hand when you have a question, and then we'll be able to look through the questions and call on you. All right. If we're moving too fast, please stop us and we will change our pace just by raising your hand. Okay, we got one. Kimberly. Oh, yep, somebody Kimberly was just testing. They were just testing it out, I guess.
I think
Kimberly.
Prince wanted to raise his hand too. Prince, you have a question, bro? I guess not.
All right.
Okay, and Miss Avocado is back. She's joining us. Hi, Miss Avocado. Just really quick, introduce yourself.
Oh, we got to make her a host again.
I did.
Oh, perfect.
Hello, I'm so sorry. The time warp, it just threw me out. Hey, everybody. My name is Miss Avocado. All right, if you don't know me from before, I am an art teacher in another after-school program, as well as an artist myself. And so I go by the name of Miss Avocado because I love avocados. All right, so let's get started.
Yeah. So before we begin our tour, we have a little bit of a exercise for you. So up on our slide, it says, in your opinion, are these notebooks works of art? If so, or if not, why? So we just want you to take a few moments to take a look at the pictures on the slide of these notebooks and think about, are these works of art, or do you consider them art?
Ooh, you got friends ready to answer already. Mrs. Butler, sorry, I almost made a mistake there.
All right, so who do we want to go first?
We're gonna go in Mariam, Hadija, Prince, and then Maria. We'll go in that order.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
So I think these notebooks are works of art because notebooks regularly aren't like this. So if I first looked at this, I would say someone like made these or drew these.
Well
thank you for
said.
sharing. Thank you for sharing, Miriam.
Also, can I ask Miss Avocado a question?
Sure.
Did you make that tie-dye shirt yourself? Since you said you're an artist.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you make that tie-dye shirt yourself?
Oh, no, I did not. I actually bought this one, but I wore it because we are going to be dealing with a lot of color today. Do you like?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a tie-dye shirt myself.
Nice. All right, who's next?
We're gonna go with my first twin, Hadija. Hadija, unmute yourself, my girl.
Oh, I'm mute her.
All right, I unmuted her. Hadija, turn your camera on.
I think these notebooks are work of art because there's a lot of different types of art, like graffiti art, and I think that is something like graffiti art.
Mm.
Nice.
Well said, well said.
Nice answer. We got Prince, we got Maria, then we got Sienna as well. And then whenever you guys want to shut it down, up to you guys.
All right, we'll stop there.
Yeah, we'll stop after Sienna.
Okay.
All right, Prince.
So
Floor is
I would
yours.
say this is works of art because it's like Miriam said. It's way uniquer. I mean, it's way different than a regular notebook, and it's very unique. And so, since it's different than a regular notebook and it looks special, I would say this is very good works of art.
Nice, Prince.
Beautiful answer.
Well done, yes.
All right, sisters, Maria and Ashley. Whichever sister wants to go first.
Take the floor. Make sure you unmute them.
All right.
I think it is work of art because art can be in different types of forms. They can be different, and they don't specifically have to be something. So, and it also has color, and I feel like when you do an art piece, it has a story in it, or there's a reason why you made it.
I like that. It has a story in it.
Yeah.
The story
I
is
love
a-
that.
Mr. Yadabear, you took the words right out of my mouth, my friend.
Well said.
Last but not least, let's go Sienna. Sienna, the floor is yours, girl.
Well, I don't really think that the notebooks would be works of art because in my case, I just consider them as like the canvas for the works of art on them. But I guess you could consider them if you wouldn't consider them as a canvas.
Nice.
I like that. That was different from everybody else.
Sienna's saying is just the tool, it's a canvas, but it's not the actual artwork. Okay. All right. I love it.
Got it.
Different perspectives. All well said. And I like that everyone kind of had the same perception that of the uniqueness of the work is what makes it art. Yeah, that was consistent. All right, so are we ready?
Sorry, Miss Avocado. Hope we see you whenever our
Oop.
teachers give us the next question. You'll be the first to answer. Okay. Hope you're gonna be the first one on the next one.
All right, so remember, we'll keep that in mind. So Hope, you will be first.
All right. So I want you all to keep these ideas in mind and keep all these amazing points that we brought up. But now we're going to talk a little bit about the museum before we go on our tour. And so the Bronx Museum of Art was founded in 1971 by a woman named Irma Fleck, between a partnership between the Bronx Council of Arts and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Bronx Museum of Art has grown to be recognized internationally. So it's pretty well known.
They are known for being a cultural destination that presents new, innovative, contemporary art exhibitions as well as education programs. And they are committed to promoting cross-cultural dialogue, which means all of us being different from different families, from different places, and it puts it out there for a diverse and just as colorful audience.
So they have hosted exhibitions of art and design from Latin America, Africa, and Asia, to name a few. The Bronx Museum is important to the Bronx as a place where rich culture is being put out there and admired. And so now we are going to get to know a little bit of information about the artist as we make our way to the museum. So here we go on the bus.
This is the Bronx 1 bus. The next stop is 165th Street Grand Concourse. You'll see the Bronx Museum of Art to your left. Yeah, make sure you're making your masks are required on this transportation. We have this COVID outbreak out here, but this is your stop. Thank you, and I'm letting you guys off. Appreciate you.
All right, so who is Jose Parla? Well, he was an artist who was born in Miami to Cuban parents, and he began painting in Miami on the walls at the age of 10, consistently using his tag name, which was Ease, to sign his work. Then he moved to the Bronx after he studied painting at the Savannah College of Art and Design in Miami, and the Miami Dade College, New World School of the Arts.
Mm-hmm. So Jose Parla, he's emerged in this past decade, so in the last 10 years, as one of his generation's most recognized champions of painting. So we're dealing with a legend here, people. He's been working for more than 20 years to create his own style of painting, which can be seen in his first ever solo show, which is right here at the Bronx Museum. Transforming the language of the streets into a combined form of abstraction and realism, Parla's focus is to recreate the everyday walls that we see in the city.
Oh, I have a question. What is he doing in this picture right here?
Oh, that is a good question. And it's one of Mrs. Butler and my favorite painting techniques. Ms. Butler, would you like to tell them?
So in this photo, you can see Parla working in his studio. He is taking paint and pretty much throwing it onto a canvas, onto the walls. And this is known as abstract style of painting. And this is one of my favorites. This is actually one of Miss Avocado's favorites styles of painting. And in fact, we have worked very similar to Jose Parla.
Yes. It's all about, for this technique, it's all about movement and very purposeful, messy actions. And we just love a good mess. All right, so as we're here and we're looking through the museum, we want you guys to keep these things in mind, okay? What do you notice about the work? What does the artwork make you think of and why? We always need to know why. And what do you wonder about when you look at these works? Your own perspective, okay? So keep those things in mind. I see we have hands raised. And I think we're ready to go.
All right.
So let's see. I see Hadija, Prince, Mariam. But we had someone who wanted to go first.
Hope.
Hope, would you still like to talk about this work here? All right, well, let's get started. So here we have the title of this artwork of our first piece that we're looking at today is Writer's Bench, Grand Concourse and 149th Street, BX. All right, it was created in this year, 2020, so earlier on this year, and it was located in his studio in the Bronx. All right, and he, as we mentioned before, does a lot of abstraction, so the style of this work is abstraction. And right here, if on the screen, if you look, we have the medium, which is the, materials that we use, the acrylic, ink, collage, enamel plaster, and oil paint on canvas, as well as the dimensions, which is the size of the work. All right, so let's get your opinions. Who's ready to talk?
I mean, yeah, like what do you guys notice and what does this artwork make you think of?
What are you wondering about?
Okay, yeah. Coach, call out the order.
Let's start with Sienna first.
All right.
Oh, I got a new friend, Isaiah. Isaiah, you're gonna be next, buddy.
Okay.
Sienna?
Yeah, Sienna.
Yeah, so I don't really have much. I'm thinking that it sort of looks like it has a whole. I can tell that it has a whole bunch of different colors, but I'm mostly thinking about how everywhere you look, it looks like there's a different like type of texture, or like a different like height in each part of it, because some parts look rough, some parts look smooth, some look weird. But in every part, it looks entirely different.
Very well said. Thank you.
And I know Hope was supposed to go, but I don't know if she still has a question. Hope, if you still have your question, make sure you raise your hand.
Let's go with Isaiah next. We haven't heard from Isaiah today. So Isaiah, I'm gonna unmute you.
This painting makes me think of the earth, because if you look closely at the colors, you can see the blue, which represents water. You can see red, which represents fire, green, which represents grass, and yeah.
Isaiah, can I ask you something? Do you watch Avatar? Because that's what I got from you. I got an Avatar vibe.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Listen,
waterbenders, firebenders.
The colors make sense.
Isaiah, you're the Avatar today.
That was a nice one.
Well, for some of you that are like me, I don't know, if you're from the Bronx, Grand Concourse, 149th Street, BX, I don't know, that makes me think of a lot of things. Mostly food that's on the Grand Concourse. I don't know if there's anybody else that's thinking like me. Maybe you're out there
Isaiah's nodding his head. All right, Coach, who do we have next to talk?
Let's go with Prince. Then we'll go with Maria, and then Mariam. Let me see if we have any more hands. Yup, Prince, Mariam, Maria.
All right.
You, Prince.
So, what I think of this painting is that since it's abstract art, and we know that abstract art is not the type of art to be accurate, but it has a big meaning. So it uses colors, shapes, texture in order to create that meaning and to achieve its effect. So,
Wow. Ashe.
Wonderful, wonderful. Prince, I like how you took the information given from Sienna and Isaiah to really like get to that conclusion. That was really nice job. All right. Well done.
Great
well
answer,
done.
Prince.
Well done to
Let's go, Maria. Let's go, Maria, and then Mariam. Oops.
Maria Ventura.
Yep, floor is yours.
What I see in the picture would be like a girl looking through the city. Like in the left corner, it's her face. I can see her face and her hair, and then in the right corner, I can see like she's looking at like the city at the night, how the lights are brighting through the buildings.
Oh,
that's different. I like it.
And that's art. Like to each viewer, you may see something different in it. And like Maria definitely saw like a whole landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, when I think of this, I just see Popeyes on the Grand Concourse, and I see the post office right there, the big blue post office. That's what I see, in the Haagen-Dazs right there next to Popeyes.
Sir, did you have your breakfast today? Because you sound hungry.
I don't think so.
I didn't eat yet, so
That's
what I'm
why.
thinking about. I'm thinking about chicken and ice cream.
Let's think about some more art and less food, okay?
Yeah, let's focus, man.
All right, I'm focused. I'm focused. I'm back.
Mariam, did you still want to go, or would you like to talk first for the next work?
All right.
We can get Mariam and Hope for the next word.
I
For
wanted
sure.
I
Yes.
wanted to talk about the first one.
Okay.
All right.
I think what I see in this picture, what I think about it, I don't really think about anything. The thinking is us thinking what's the meaning behind it.
Okay. She getting very meta on us.
Mm-hmm.
The painting was to just make us think about what we're thinking about, but it's not actually about anything.
Yep. Listen, that is the conspiracy theory of every abstract, non-representational work that's out there. If it doesn't look like anything, we're just sitting there with this face.
Sienna, you'll be first on the next one, okay? I see your hand, girl.
Good job, Mariam.
So this next piece, done by Parla, is called The Flow of Sovereignty. It was created this year, 2020, just a little earlier on, in his studio in the Bronx, and it is also an abstraction. And one big important detail, before we really dive into what we think this painting means, I wanted to talk about the word sovereignty. So sovereignty just means a self-governing state. It's a sort of state that runs itself. Okay, so they make their own rules. So try to keep that in mind as you look at this painting.
Oh, I see Hope is ready to talk.
All right. Let's unmute Hope. Hope, the floor is yours. We've been waiting for you.
Yeah, what do you notice, Hope?
I agree with what the I'm not quite sure what your name is, but the person who said before I was talking before I did, like it's whatever you're thinking about at the moment, just like the Naval United is what his name is written down as, but he was talking about how he was hungry. Saw in the picture, I was thinking about people, and I actually saw a person, and just like I see right now where it says, and it actually kind of makes sense. And I was like, oh, that kind of puts together what I'm thinking, because right now I see like a lot of, I don't know, like I see a lot of people like all together. I think, and then when I think about that, when I see that, is that I'm thinking they're all trying to, like you said, like be free or like unite or something like that. And that's why I think in other paintings that I don't think they're meaningless, but I do think that they saw something in this picture, and they saw that it really helps you see which, like, if you're looking at a painting and you are thinking about something, that's what you see. Like, yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say.
Hope,
Thank
I'm
you for
so
that,
happy you got to
Hope.
speak.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Cool.
That's like 2.0.
I liked what you said about that the artist sees the importance of your own thinking and feeling. So they give you this space to do that, to see whatever you want to see. Nice job. All right.
I think I see Prince.
I see Prince, Sienna.
Prince, Sienna, Isaiah, and Mariam.
I want to push others: Benaya, Chase, Eve, Faris, Haiti. There's a few others, like we're seeing the same names, but share whatever you want to share. Definitely, like we're open to all thoughts.
I got an idea. We gonna cold call somebody just like we do in school. This one you're sitting on the rug doing that math problem.
Coach. Oh, all right. Call him Benaya. I'm like.
They said no, don't do that.
Oh, Benaya, let's go. Benaya, the floor is yours.
Okay. So
Nice.
what I see in this picture, it's like when it's like rush hour, there's multiple people and the lines are like the people. It's like you can't really get anywhere, and it's like the cars and traffic, and it's like it makes me think of like crowded places.
Okay, like all right.
I can
You see a city.
Yeah.
What an amazing idea. Love it.
Thank you, Benaya.
Well, we got another friend that we haven't heard from yet. Let's go with Mary, one of my faves. What's up, girl?
I think that it's supposed to be representing a community of people working together, because since it means a governing state, that must mean that there's a lot of people inside of it since it's a state, and that they're working together to make the place better.
Nice.
Beautiful, Mary.
Definition to like back up what you were thinking about this.
Yeah, I think that's very good, and I would like to tell you guys, suggested what Mary's doing is using the title to help understand the work, and Parla has a very big thing with his titles, and I think it's good if you guys really take a look at that and think about it. So nice job, Mary. Thank you.
Well,
I got another friend.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Yadaberry. I got another friend we haven't heard from. Haiti, I think I said your name right this time. I'm gonna unmute you. You let me know if I said it wrong, but I feel like I did it right today.
Yeah, you said it correctly.
Nice.
What I see is, I don't know if somebody else sees it in a different way, but I just like see like a bunch of strings attached to each other, like they're all tangled together.
Nice.
An entanglement.
Oh, jeez.
Don't go there.
Don't do it.
All right. So I was gonna say I have a question though because like Mary made me think of a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really have like sovereignty like right now? Like she was saying, a whole collective of people working together. Like whoever talks next, I want you to kind of get your sense. Do you think like we actually have sovereignty in where we live, where like there's people working together for the sake of community, or do you think we're still working towards that?
That's a great question, Mr. Yadaberry.
Yeah, Miss Yadaberry, I think it's also perfect for the next work that Mrs. Butler is going to bring up. So I think let's move on to that.
So this next work that we have is called Social Visual. And it was also created in 2020 in his studio in the Bronx. It's another abstraction. It's a very large scale abstraction. So you can tell from the size that it's huge. So remember thinking about Mr. Yadaberry's question, do we have sovereignty using that and this painting?
Yeah, sovereignty from the previous title. Social visual is the title for this one. What do you notice about these words and how do they come together? I see Haiti. Let's see. Coach, give us the lineup.
We're gonna go. But Benaya, please tell me I said it right.
Yes.
We're gonna go with her first. We're gonna go with Haiti. We're gonna go with Haiti next, followed by Mariam, Prince, and then Sienna.
There we go.
Those are the 5 that I see. So let me unmute Bianna. And Bianna, if I'm saying it wrong, once you get unmuted,
Benaya.
What's wrong with me? Gotta go back to school. Benaya, sorry, Benaya.
Gotta go back to school.
Okay, so what I see in this picture, it's kind of a hawk in the middle because near the green lines, I kind of see like a little black dot, and that resembles the eye. And then it's like a yellow, kind of like a triangle and like a trapezoid combined. And then I see that, and then I see like the little black tip.
Wow.
Benaya, so
beautiful answer, Benaya.
Listen.
Beautiful answer. All right. Next we have Haiti.
Right. Getting Haiti.
What I see is like in the right corner, I see like a little like a person or like a figure. Like the head is kind of like a trapezoid, but like a little smaller. Yeah. But I think overall it kind of looks like a glitch.
A glitch.
I like that one.
I like that.
Oh, what the different colors? Yeah.
All right. Another beautiful answer. Let's try to get 3 in a row. Well, let's go with Mariam.
So what I think about this piece of work. Wait, can you hold on for a second?
Yes.
Sure thing, Mariam.
Who's next? Yeah, we'll come back to Mariam.
We'll go with Prince. I think she's telling them, hey, I'm doing something right now.
Yeah. Give her 1 minute.
Sienna, Pirate Pie.
I think she's back.
Mariam, are you back?
We're gonna come back to you.
So
we're gonna come back to you.
What I think of
go to you now.
What I think of this painting is that since sometimes abstract is hard to figure out the meaning, sometimes it can be frustrating. I use a technique like connecting all the colors and all the shapes and textures in my head, and what I found was the green, the cricket, the red was the wall, the blue was
Prince, your sound is not too good right now.
Say that one more time.
Your sound has been breaking up, Prince.
Yeah, you're glitching right now, like Haiti said with the art.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna come back to you, Prince. Try to get that sorted out. We're gonna come back to you.
Yeah, I think just give it a minute and it'll work. Miriam, you still want to go, honey?
Yeah, she's ready.
All right, and let's go.
What I think about this photo or artwork, I think that this, I have to agree on Haley that this is like a glitch. But also, I just think that Jose Parla just decided to start with something on the canvas and then continue on from there. So then it just looks like this glitch that could happen on like a computer or it could be a glitch or either a big change. Like how something could change in a matter of seconds. And then this is just a whole blur.
Cool.
I like that.
Mariam,
it's a blur.
Very nice.
She got me thinking.
For real.
I also want to, can I piggyback off of Mariam and say that it's good she brings up the blur and the change, because remember when we first introduced Parla, we talked about his style imitating the walls within the city. And think about how many times they've been painted over and posted over and ripped down and changed. So while it doesn't look like much, his work is representing something. So just think about that, you guys, while we continue on.
I know Sienna go quickly, because I know you have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that it sort of reminds you of like the walls around the Bronx. Like how like when there's like graffiti on them, or like they would, or else there would be like something else happening, because I already know that there's always like some type of weird artwork on them, or else something, or else it's really boring in the neighborhood, because most of the time I see like graffiti art on these paintings.
Mr. Yadaberry, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Did you show Sienna the slide? Did you show Sienna the slides before everybody else saw them?
No. I didn't show her any of the
Hey.
I just
want to make sure.
No favoritism. She's not cheating.
No, because she was right on point. It was almost like she saw it. Great job, Sienna.
Mariam, do you still want to talk about this one, or can we have your opinion for the next one?
I think next one.
Yeah.
What she said.
Where's
Next
my long
one?
painting?
Yeah, where's the... Okay, guys, this is a doozy, just so you know. All right? Remember what we said about those big words? We're going to talk about them right now in the title here.
We're all beyond Z here.
Yeah. In this piece, the title is the same as the whole show. It's yours. The International Illegal Construct Against Indigenous People. All right? Let me start with the definitions at the bottom first. So, international, we know, is around the world. Illegal, against the law. Indigenous means originating from a particular place, native people. All right? So, think about this is the worldwide illegal construct against native people. All right? He created this piece in 2020 when in his studio in the Bronx. It is very along the lines of his abstract style, and it's huge. It is 84 inches by 432 inches. It is it takes up a whole long space. All right? So now that we're here, now that you got your definitions, let's talk about it. Mariam, do you still want to go first?
I see Mariam's hand.
She's like, I'm here.
She's ready. She's always ready. Go for it, Mariam.
This This looks like a kingdom with a bunch of different colored castles.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, I do see that.
Also, I wanted to ask Miss Avocado something. What is
Yes, dear.
merged Bendy and the ink machine and Mickey Mouse behind you?
We're not talking about the artwork in my room, young lady. We're talking about the work out here. But if you must know, this is actually my husband's taste in art. So
it's creepy.
It is creepy, but you know something? We like a good creepy moment. We're very Halloween oriented people. I apologize.
Scary.
If it's staring you down, just stare back at it.
If that's in my room while I sleep, I am going to scream. I have nightmares all night.
All right, hey, Mariam, we'll talk one off after. We want to get some more friends, okay?
Yeah, let's get back. I like your thoughts too. Thank you for critiquing the work. Did you hear that? You're creepy.
Who's next?
Let's go with Mary next.
Yeah.
Go with Mary, back to Hope, and then we go Prince.
I think that the artwork means that people should not be judging each other, but it says against indigenous people, so that means that people should not be bothering other people that have because of their skin color.
Wow, that's another friend who looked at it before. That was an amazing answer. Love it, Mary.
Well done.
Let's go with Hope. About to get another great answer from Hope. Floor is yours, Hope.
What I see in this picture is, like I said before, a lot of people trying to change things, but not in the way like we would know, like people already now are changing things by protesting. I mean, they're still all together, but it's almost like in a way where they're all together and they're changing the world in the moment, like kind of how another person said how it's like a glitch almost or something, and it's changing like now, like in the moment they're changing the world to the way, like they're just changing the world to a way that would be better. I don't know how to say it. It's just, I don't know.
We see where you're going with that, Hope.
I do. I understand where you're going with that as well, and I think that was beautifully said.
I gotta like, how does, for others, like, how does this title relate to this painting for you guys, or maybe it doesn't? Like, when I think of a construct, I think of something someone is building. I don't know. So that's where my brain goes. And when I think of people and building something that's illegal or like against other people, you know, that's where my brain is taking that wording. And like, I see a connection between the title, but I want to know what you kids think.
When I see them changing it, I think of them changing as changing the world together through the power of them, their minds, and when they're united, all of them together. That's how I think of it.
Cool.
I think
Love it.
I want to piggyback off of Mr. Yadaberry and Hope. You both just inspired me to look at this a different way. I see, touching on Mr. Yadaberry's point of building, something being built against indigenous people, but in this painting I see, I guess, a change, and almost like they're breaking the barriers, like breaking down the wall.
I agree.
Someone else maybe sees that too. But.
No, I agree with you, Mrs. Butler. I think that's a good point, because when we first created this tour, I saw it in a very, I'm going to use the word intimidating, because it it looked very massive and more like a block in the way for me. And Hope, I think you just brought about a very positive, perception on that. And it does make me think about it much differently now as well. So thank you. And I think we want to. What is it?
Go for it, Miss Avocado.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I was just waiting on you.
I was like, if anyone else, like, I want to take one more person for this because it is such a big piece. But as well, I'm looking at the time, and we still got a couple more things to do. So if we're ready to go to the next one, can we get a thumbs up? We're good. All right.
I think.
Oh, I see Sienna. Sienna.
Go for it, Sienna. Floor is yours.
So I don't know if anybody else sees this, but it's really weird. In my case, I just see 3 castles, and from the right hand to all the way to the middle, and then I just see these 3 big castles, and they all look beautiful. But behind the middle of the blue castle, I just see like a destruction of like the original one. And also, I noticed that the bottom looks like it's teared off.
Nice.
I'm right with you,
So
Sienna.
you see the destruction of like the original castle.
Yeah. Also, the bottom looks like it got like teared off from like the rest of the painting.
Sienna, when it comes to the title, you know what that makes me think of? The indigenous people had the original castle, and someone destroyed the indigenous people's castle. Maybe that's what's illegal.
Mm-hmm. And good job, Sienna, pointing out the bottom. Jose Parla, he did this very deliberately because it's on raw canvas, and so raw canvas is like fabric, and he just took it and ripped it on the bottom, as well as like adding the paints and the little threads. He left them there to give you that vibe. So very, very good.
I have another quick question. Are all of us indigenous here? Like, in the sense that indigenous means we're natives of the land, but I know I'm not. My parents are from the Gambia in West Africa. So I guess that's like a different twist to it too. When you think about it, it's like indigenous. So like, who are like the indigenous people in this place that Parla is painting?
I think about Parla and his own stuff. Sienna, you're still on. You can say something.
I don't think I'm native. I don't think anyone in my family would be anywhere near close to being native. Because
all of us. Yeah.
But I don't know, because I think one of like my family ended up living in like Dominican Republic, and I don't know if they ended up being there from like the beginning. But yeah, I don't think any part of my family is anywhere near close to native, like, since most of my family are from like different parts of the world.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna shed some light on Mrs. Butler and I. She's from Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and my family's from Puerto Rico. So we have some deep behind us, we have some roots with the native Taino people of the islands that were there. So somewhere we're indigenous.
Yeah, well, to give these kids background, so the majority of people in America are not actually indigenous to the Americas, whether white or of African descent. Most people's roots are from a different land that's not North America and the islands. So there were original people on the islands. Maybe you guys have learned about. Some of you learned about the story of Christopher Columbus and like the conquistadors and the explorers. So those people came with European roots, and we had enslaved Africans also come over here. And then like America is a mixture of just different peoples. But then when you think about illegal construct, is everything that is created in America, is it actually the people, the indigenous people of the land actually give people rights to build on their land.
Mhm.
So that's a question, that's a deep question for a different day. Is this land ours, or like everyone's to build on top of? Or is like, do people need to get permission? I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone ever really got it.
No, I like that, Mr. Yoderberry. I think the question could also be said as like, is the illegal construct, if the illegal construct is against the indigenous people, does that mean that the indigenous people, were they safe? Did they benefit from this change?
Yeah.
And you guys, I think that's a good question to ask yourselves. I see Mariam and Prince, they've had their hands up
Well,
for a long time.
Prince have been up for a long time, so we
Yeah.
go Prince, and then we'll go on to the next one.
All right, Prince, floor is yours.
Are we still on the line painting? Okay. So what I think about this painting is that I too can see castles, and how I can see the castles is that I put all the shapes and colors into one section, and I try to figure out what it is. And I see a castle and then another castle that's destroyed. And I also see people fighting in this painting.
No.
Well said.
Yeah, like I do, like, and everyone with the castle that didn't see it before until you kids started naming it, I do see like sets of castles.
Mm-hmm. Almost like silhouettes.
And then like what Sienna said, like there's castles being destroyed and like there's new ones being built. I'm like,
all right.
Like when you think about empires, but let's go to the next one, waves of displacement.
Yes.
So this piece is called Waves of Displacement. It was created in the Bronx in 2020, and it's another type of abstraction. Before we really dive in and think about what this means, just displacement means the moving of something from one place to another, or changing its position from where it once was, okay? So think about it, waves of displacement. What do you think?
Mariam is going to hurt herself if she does not answer this question.
Mariam, sweetie.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think that I think I see like two islands. I see two islands and then like this river or lake separating them. Like when I heard the word waves, I thought of like the blue being water, and then two other sides are islands. And I think when I hear displacement, I think of like these islands used to be like a full city or town, but then water came and then separated the island. So then it's two different islands.
I gotta give you a thumbs up for that, man. That was such a beautiful answer. I thought the same thing.
Good job using the words.
Also, Coach, when people are talking and you don't say anything, you look mad. Like,
no, don't worry. I'm not mad. I'm actually happy. I'm
like
happy
you're
that
frowning.
everybody's here. I'm just focusing really hard at the artwork. That's all. Don't worry. I'm not mad at all. I'm really happy, actually.
Like you're frowning.
All right, we're gonna go with Rama. I haven't heard from Rama today, which is very surprising. So we'll go with Rama. Rama, the mic is yours.
I noticed something about the photo. On one side, it looks like a map. And then, like what Miriam said, the middle looks like a...
What happened?
Yeah, I didn't get that last part. The middle looks like what?
Water.
I think Miss Calcaño just got off, but she's back on now. Let's go with, thank you, Rama. We're going to go with Isaiah, and then we'll go with Hadija. Isaiah, Hadija. Floor is yours, Isaiah.
This painting reminds me of like the whole earth because like the other person said, I forgot their name. Like they said, it was like the globe, and to build on the idea, if you look at like the green parts and the sandy parts, it looks like the forest, and then like the deserts. Then the blue in the middle represents the water, which has many islands in it, which is where the green is.
That's a beautiful answer, Isaiah. I love that. On fire, kid. You're on fire. Let's go with, I think, did we go with Rama? We went with Rama already?
Yeah.
Let's go with Heidi. I haven't heard from Heidi in a while. Heidi, then we'll go with Hadija. Heidi, floor is yours. Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry, Heidi.
It's okay. It's okay.
Go ahead, Heidi.
What I see is like, it's like two separate islands, and it looks like you know, like when people like travel and they like mark where they've been, it kind of looks like people marked and then like go like where they like the path they went, you know? with the lines with it.
So Haiti, that even makes me think, because like the word displacement doesn't mean you're going there out of your own free will. It means someone's forcing you to move. So like I'm putting everybody's thoughts together, and if we're looking at it as two pieces of land and it's water and it's paths, someone is being, or people are being forced or displaced from one place to another. I don't know if there's any other point in time that you guys can think about people being displaced, and they have to like move across waters, across paths from one land to another. I want you guys to think about that for a second and think about like what you've learned about in school over the years and people being displaced.
Also, what Mr. Yadabre said, that they're being forced, the displacement is forced. It says it right in the definition below, the enforced departure of people from their homes. And if we're talking about waves and water, like what aspects of history and big change do you recognize from these words being put together?
I think you sparked that light bulb, Mr. Yadabe, Miss Avocado, because a lot of hands are going up right now. So let's go with Hadija. We'll go with Hope Prince Sienna. Hadija, Hope Prince Sienna. Hadija, go.
I was gonna say this picture looks like a map, but then Rama said it.
It's okay. Do you have any other thoughts since your sister stole your idea?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Hadija. We're gonna go with Hope now. Hope, floor is yours.
When I see this picture, I agree with what it looks like, a map almost, and like you said, where they've been taken in different places. Like I'm thinking of like when people were taken on boats to, like, from Africa to America, where they didn't want to be, where they were enslaved. Or that. Yeah,
Keep going, Hope. You got it. You got it.
And yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But I have two different like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like what she said, and I'm also seeing like what the first person who spoke said was about how the way like they've been separated over even the water separated them in like two different places. I don't know. I was gonna say something that made more sense according to this picture, but I don't remember what I was gonna say. But yeah, I agree with what Mr.
Yatterberry.
Yatterberry said, and with and what the first person who spoke said. I agree with those two things.
Beautiful, beautiful job. I think that's the answer Mr. Yatterberry and Miss Avocado have been waiting for. So
well, it wasn't even about an answer. It was just like to get them to think whether it connected with them in that way. Who else was there? Prince?
We got Prince and Sienna. Prince and Sienna.
Thank you, Hope.
So what I would like to say about this picture is, like Mr. Yatterberry said, people are getting forced from their homes to go over the water, and the lines and the places that look like land were probably those people's homelands. They were native to the land, but they were enforced to go from their home across the water to another land. For example, the people of Africa, as we learned, were forced to go to America to work as slaves. This painting kind of relates to that because you could see the land and the water, and the title is called Waves of Displacement, which really connects to the title and the definition.
Awesome answer, Prince. Love it.
Good job.
And last but not least, let's go with Sienna. Sienna, take us home.
So technically it's sort of like the idea of the other peoples, but except it's sort of like a little bit after all this slavery stuff happened. But it's sort of like where the waves ended up showing like a line between these two different types of people, and then they're being separated from each other because they don't really agree with each other, and one of them was forced to stay into their land, but the other people are allowed to cross the river, even though the other people on the other side can't.
Beautiful answer, Sienna. Got a lot of great thoughts flowing today. I love it.
All right. We have one more painting as well as a quick video for you guys. So let's move on to this painting, which is Done Up with Finesse. All right. Just to give you clarification, finesse, the definition is delicate or to do something in a delicate or subtle manner. All right. So it was created as well in 2020 in his Bronx studio. Yes, it is another abstract painting. Surprise. And this one is way smaller. It's 30-inch by 44 inches. And I say way smaller because if you haven't noticed, we've been going within the 48 to 60, 80-inch mark. So he's been working very big. This is one of the smaller pieces he's done. All right, so Done Up with Finesse. What do you guys think? Let's see.
We got Mariam, we got Isaiah, Hadija, Rama, Sienna.
Okay. All right. So, Mariam, give us your insight.
So, I think it looks like a forest to me. But then the water in between like all those like dark green trees. I feel like it's the water from like the left top corner coming in, like a tide coming in, and then washing down most of the trees in the middle. So then it's just like this cave or circle around the water that came in. washing down all the other trees in the middle.
All right.
But
Nice.
basically, it looks like a beach, but with a forest.
That sounds good. That sounds good, Mariam.
Super descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Mary now. I want to go with Mary, then I'm gonna go with Isaiah.
All right.
I think it is that everybody is delicate because everybody only has one chance in life. And also, it looks like inside the picture, a upside down base that's about to fall.
Dang, everyone only has one chance in life. That's deep. So we're all delicate.
Yeesh. That's gonna go over a lot of people's heads, Mary. That was a very good one. Let's go with Isaiah now. Great answer, Mary. Love it.
That's really deep.
In this painting, I see a person, which is the I don't know if you guys can see it. It's in the middle with the brown head, I think.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Right
the
there.
brown circle in the middle.
That's a person, and he's swimming around because the blue in the picture and the black reminds me of like the water from like all the oceans.
Okay.
Isaiah, you want to know what that looks like to me? What? It looks like a gingerbread man floating in the water.
And then the two islands are like the two islands are where two of the I forgot to call it. Yeah, two of the islands are connecting.
Mm-hmm.
I like the image of like the river.
Nice answer, Isaiah. Love that.
Thank you, Isaiah.
So we got 3 people left, Miss Avocado. We got Hadija, Rama, and Sienna. So I'll pick Rama first, Sienna in between them, and then Hadija.
All right. Rama.
This photo looks like different places. Like the blue looks like the sea, and then the orange and the greens look like Africa. That like there's trees there, and then the green looks like a rainforest, and the blue and white look like the North Pole.
So it's a whole globe collaged
you
together.
see the whole. Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
She sees everything.
Hopefully your sister has a different answer. I don't want her to say you took her answer. Let's go with Sienna now.
I'm mostly seeing like a river and a whole bunch of trees, or like a mini forest a little bit. Also, for me, the brown circles to me sort of makes me think about like a snail. I don't know, like if somebody I don't know. Somebody ended up saying about how like the thing about how we're delicate because we end up having like one chance at life, and then I'm just thinking like, well, the snail could end up representing how slow we go at it when we're always so delicate with it.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah.
You guys are killing it right now, by the way.
I feel that. I
You
don't
guys are
see a
killing
snail, but that message that you got out of this about not just how delicate we are as humans in our one life, but just that sometimes we move slow and we don't do the things that we need to in specific moments.
And I wanna piggyback off that, Mr. Yadaberry and Sienna. Like you guys say, sometimes we do move slow, but sometimes life is going super fast too at the same time.
It's going so fast.
So you gotta really slow down and take care of the most important things that you need to, because it's going fast. Well, you guys will be in high school.
Yeah, but at the same time, the longer that you don't do anything, or when you're like not having fun with it, or like you're just standing around, then you feel like you're not doing anything, but you end up going throughout the time it's happening.
I feel you, girl.
And then before you know it, you are finessed by life.
All right, and then one more,
let's
DJ,
go
right?
with the last twin. Yep, last twin. Let's go.
This photo looks like you see on the left side. It looks like there's trees there on the green part, and on the white part, it looks like it's snowing.
So Hadija, are you talking about seeing the globe kind of mushed together as well as some of the other kids?
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
all right.
I have a question. Like, seeing all of these paintings and what we talked about, waves of displacement. We've talked about the writers' bench in the Bronx. We've talked about sovereignty, self-governing state. We also talked about what the indigenous people. Like, why is Jose Parla deciding to make all these paintings in 2020? I don't know, just thinking about and going back to everything that we've talked about, like, why is he making all these paintings now?
We have a couple people.
Because like 2020 is special in its own right, like going back to all this displacement and things like that. So like, why do you think he chose this year to make these series of paintings and saying it's yours?
We got about 3 hands right now. Let's go with Mary. Oh, freeze. Mary, we're not going to go with you yet. We're going to freeze it. Somebody I haven't heard from today. Let's go with Chase.
Chase,
and then Mary, you'll be next.
I think that they want us to know, like, about how the African American people, they're shipped from Africa and are forced to go and become slaves. And then the war.
I like that. I want to know who's going to piggyback off that great idea Chase just said. Let's go with Mary now. Mr. Yadaberry, Ms. Carcaño is back in. Can you make her a host again?
Yes.
Where's Mary? Mary, let's unmute Mary. Mary, go for it.
So I wanted to talk about how that they decided to do it now because at this time it's kind of like a flashback of what happened some years ago about the war that was happening about civil rights. And it kind of like is happening again. So he wanted to make things like be a big part and make things better by trying to show what he feels through art.
I love that.
That was amazing.
I love that, Mary. Mary says the things that makes me think.
Yep. Nothing surface level. Let's go with Sienna and then Mariam. Sienna and Mariam. Then we'll go with the video after. All right, floor is yours, Sienna.
So in my case is weird, but I'm thinking about like what's happening right now, I'm sort of thinking of like linking them all together. So like, I'm thinking about like how the waves of the displacement reminds me of like how like right now people are like stating about how like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. The Serenity sort of reminds me how people are trying to like scribble all over the rules and trying to block it out because of the fact that all these things are going on all wrong most of the time. And I remember the last picture that we saw, it's like how right now we're stuck in quarantine and how we're not really doing that much in life, so we're going really slow right now. Because I remember like how earlier throughout so far in quarantine, it feels like the longest like months of my life.
Oh, preach to the choir, girl. I feel the same way.
No, like I feel that you can feel stuck in place during quarantine for sure, or like during
Especially
times when you're
March,
not able to move around.
especially in the beginning. March, April, those are the longest months ever.
And then who else? We said
Mary,
Miriam.
Well
last.
Mary,
said.
we're gonna go to the video.
Well said, Sienna.
Well, what? I don't think. Well, I don't think Jose Parla chose 2020 because he wouldn't know that all of this would happen in 2020.
Okay.
Unless he's psychic or he went through a time portal to get here.
Okay.
So I think that he drew these to show what's happening in the world through art. Like for other people to experience what's happening through art.
Got it. Thank you,
Well
Miriam.
said.
Thank you.
Okay, so Miriam, you bring up a great point, and it's gonna basically lead us into the video because it's true. Jose Parla, he was working on these paintings within 2020. He had no idea what was going on. He might have been working at the same time as things started to happen, but he's reflecting on things that he already knows about and bringing up this stuff into the art world. And so we're going to show you a video, and it's called The Bronx in the 80s. And this is the time that Parla moved from Miami to the Bronx. And so this is what he saw. This is his experience. And while all of you are talking about, what was brought up in history and the displacement of people, minorities, indigenous people, being judged and having a sovereignty where they want to be free and they want to run their own, place and people and state. This is how the Bronx was. It was full of, people that are from different parts of the world, but also who have been displaced and forced out of different places, and that their ancestors were being brought here and there and everywhere. And one of the things that the Bronx did not have was, people taking care of it and people controlling it. So what we're going to show you is Parla reflecting on his childhood and how the Bronx was controlled by the people. How the Bronx was controlled. It's okay. How the Bronx was controlled by the people, as well as finessed by the people. And maybe you'll see where his work is getting its colors and images from. So let's do this.
Guys, turn your sounds down a little bit because it's really loud, and I'm gonna get it started. You guys can hear the sound? Sound is good?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Yadaberry. So now that we've seen where Parla, the time and what it looked like, where he grew up, what do you guys notice about, Parla's work? And Sienna's hand is up, as well as Rama and Hadija. So let's
see
see.
who we're gonna go with. We got Rama, Hadija.
I haven't heard Rama,
I see
so
Mary's
let's go
hand.
Rama first.
Let's go with Rama. Rama, floor is yours.
Ronald, if you want to speak, I haven't heard from you.
The video where the boy lived, it looks like I noticed that there was a lot of art there. There was art on the street walls. There were art drawing inside the train station. And I noticed that people were dancing a lot. And the art was very, scary inside of the train station. But then when you go outside, it's full of color.
Nice. Let me see. We got Hope. We got Hadija. If you want to participate, just raise your hand so we can pick you. We're going to go with Hope now. Hope, floor is yours. And then we'll go with Hadija.
The reason I think his drawings expressed more of his feelings about being apart and destruction is because he, as you can see in some of the places that he was at, you could see there was lots of what looked like destroyed buildings and other things like that. And maybe why he had some added color to them is because even though all this was happening, as the person speaking, he was saying that there were still people dancing, there was pictures everywhere and things like that. That's why I think his art expresses more of what in the time he was in or where he was experiencing in that time. And he wanted to bring that to here and that.
Awesome answer.
Sorry to interrupt, but I also noticed that outside on the street walls, it was graffiti art.
Nice observation, baby. Nice one. Sienna, I know you've been waiting patiently, so you next, girl. Go for it.
I noticed that so it reminds me of what my parents would say sometimes. I remember because I was told that on the streets there was a lot of litter there, and not only that, there was a lot of different people. There was a whole bunch of people dancing and a lot of music back then, and also a lot of graffiti in most of the places, on the walls or on trains or anywhere else.
Another great observation, Sienna. You've been killing it all day today.
Hadija.
Yep, we'll go with Hadija.
And that's it.
Floor is yours, Hadija. And then we'll wrap it up.
In the video, it looked like it wasn't as safe as now because I saw on the trains there was a man sitting in the middle of it, not inside. Plus, there was a lot of dust outside, and the man with only one arm, it looked like he was having fun either way.
Yeah, and to wrap it up, I mean, that was life for most Black and brown people in the 80s, 70s and 80s. The Bronx was not of something you would call a beautiful place, but they made beauty of what they had. When people saw the graffiti as something that wasn't artwork, that was just defacing buildings. But look at those buildings. Most of them were abandoned, and for a lot of those guys, it was putting this graffiti, adding this graffiti to the trains and like these old trains that are on the tracks and these buildings. I'm helping to add beauty to my environment, something I'll be proud of. Hip hop was created in that same era. They made music that made sense to them and that talked to their experience. So they created beauty from from what wasn't there. There was a lot that was lacking. So it's hard to make beauty and be happy, but somehow, some way, they continue to be happy and just maintain. Sienna, last comment. Go
So
quick.
I have a fun fact. For a long time, I sort of wished I could have like traveled all the way to like the 80s, because even though it doesn't really look like the best place, it always looks like they always have their own different way of having like fun, and it always seems like the happiest place to be over there.
They made the best
They
of
made
it
the
with
best
what
of a
they
bad
had.
situation.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to what we talked about, sovereignty being the self-governed state. The Bronx was abandoned for the most part. Anyone who lived there, they basically, as a community, took control of that area and like tried to look out for one another through the good, the bad, and the ugly. So.
And without further ado, I want all of you, I've given you the ability to unmute yourself. I want you to give a big round of applause, or you can use your reaction buttons, to our art guides, Miss Butler and Miss Avocado. Give them a big round of applause, please. Give them a big round of applause. Oh my goodness gracious.
Thank you guys so much.
Hey, we play music.
There's music.
Okay. I'm like, somebody's DJing in the background.
No.
Shout out to the DJ. But also,
DJ.
Thank you.
I want you guys to give a round of applause to yourselves as well. You guys didn't have to come on a Saturday, and you guys did, and spent your afternoon with us. So we really appreciate it.
Big round of applause. Big round of applause.
Big round of applause for all of you. Wonderful, wonderful.
I just love applause. I don't have to. I just like clapping for clapping's sake. But before we get off the call, I want Miss Acevedo and Miss Calcaño to talk to you guys. We start our actual art classes next week, just to kind of give you some detail into the art classes that are starting on next Saturday.
All right. So starting next Saturday, we are going to be having just a combined class. So we won't be going from, the digital or sketchbooking. We'll be combining both of them, and you'll get a chance to work with all of us. So me and Ms. Acevedo, Mr. Yacoberry, Coach, we're all working together. And so our first class is kind of going to be a little bit of a hybrid. We're going to mix some digital, get you guys brainstorming. We'll play like a really fun game where we're going to be looking up different kinds of artists, kind of getting together what our vision is, what our inspirations are for our own work. And then it will be followed by a class where Miss Acevedo will be talking to you and showing you sort of like how to get those ideas into a drawing.
Yes. And the reason why we did the tour today on the Bronx and Parla is because we are going, our goal, the big goal, drum roll please, is to create our own mural. And we are going to show you guys, we're going to show you guys the step-by-step using both digital medium and drawing medium to create that piece and to plan it and to basically do it like Parla. We want to make something beautiful and big.
We want to keep coming every week because we're going to keep adding on to our designs, and we plan to create a big mural that's going to use everyone's combined talents.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah was first, and then Sienna. If you need to ask a question, use the raise your hand feature.
Questions.
Go ahead, Isaiah. Can we
Do we need to bring any supplies for next class?
That is a good question. You will only need just like Wi-Fi, your device, so computer, tablet, and that's pretty much all we're going to be using for the next class, okay?
And next week is going to be just digital, okay? We're starting off just with that. Any more questions?
Sienna?
It's for the Bronx mural, we're just doing like all of the Bronx or like specific places in the Bronx because
No, we're gonna make one specific art piece based off everyone's ideas. One.
I live in the Bronx, so that shouldn't be too hard.
Well, let's also be real with you guys. This is a work in progress, so we want to prepare you to create a legitimate real mural, but we're also going to have alternatives in case we cannot achieve, getting a space outside. We'll be able
or
to,
like bringing all of us together also.
Yeah.
So we're looking at those factors. But if we can bring everyone together at a later point in time, maybe months down the line, and we can procure the art space for the wall, we're gonna create a mural art space where everyone is having a hand in painting the wall and like adding to the art piece, and like this will be something of yours that'll live in the Bronx. Like you'll be a Bronx artist after that point.
as well as getting you guys to learn how to work together as a team. That's really important to us. Mariam?
Like that.
Can we, if we want, can we stay on the call?
You're having that much fun, Mariam.
Loves us.
If you have more questions or you want to talk to us more and get to know us all a little more, that's totally fine. We can talk to you a little bit.
Yay!
And then for parents, website neighborhoodun.org. This is our email. This is our social media, neighborhoodun for everything. You could follow us. You could subscribe to our page. You could follow up on our page. If we have any new classes, we'll let you know on the website. If you care to make any donations to us also, as we're a nonprofit, you can on our website, neighborhoodun.org, but all classes are free. And thank you guys for joining us. Our classes start next Saturday, and thank all of you for joining us on this wonderful journey. We love you guys, and we hope to see you back here next Saturday, 1 o'clock. And
thank you guys.
Your emails and your text messages will be the way you get the Zoom code. Your emails and text messages, so just look out for that.
Mr. Yadaberry?
Yes.
On the last slide on the slideshow, it said thanks for oining us.
Thanks for oining.
The J didn't turn. It's a fancy way of writing J.
What happened to what happened?
He was trying to use the animation to make it more fancy, but it kind of
blew. It didn't work out as planned.
It didn't.
That's weird.
Yeah, but thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah, next Saturday, 1 o'clock, neighborhoodun.org if you need the website, but we'll definitely email you and text you the next codes, just like we did for today's. Yeah, you guys can log off the call now, and if you care just to stay and say what's up to some of your teachers or just to talk to us and just chat, then we can do that too. Thank you.